Godwin, it's a pleasure to have you on the news tonight. Let's begin with this. What could have been responsible, in your opinion, for the mix-up on flight NUA 0504 from Lagos Airport on Sunday, as we just heard from this report, where instead of going to Abuja, the aircraft ended up in Asaba?
Hello. Oh, there. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, please, we can. Kindly proceed, sir.
Oh, wonderful. Right. First of all, we have a group of people that do what I describe as thankless job for the nation, and especially for the aviation sector. And what you call this group, the flight dispatchers. They stay behind the scene and do a whole lot of work, always under pressure, checking out the weather, checking out en route, situation to ensure that movement from point A to point B will be as safe as can be. Now, their business is to develop a flight plan for each flight that will take off from any point to another point. And haven't done that is they move the folder to the pilots. And of course, more often than not, pilots will love to get to the appropriate altitude and switch to auto, in order to help them relax a little bit while the machine does the job. So what I think must have happened there was that, for some strange reasons, a flight plan that was made for Asaba was handed over to a crew that was also made for Abuja, and naturally what the pilots would do would be to feed in all the information in the system and get ready to head out. And as soon as they head out and switch on their autopilot, naturally and automatically the airplane would take its bearing and begin to head to the destination that the data authorized the machine to do. So somebody in the dispatch room must have picked up the wrong folder and handed over to the pilots who were supposed to be heading to Abuja, and then they ended up finding themselves in Asaba. Initially, what had crossed my mind when this news broke was that they probably made contact and found out that the weather situation in Abuja was very unfriendly, and then they were asked to go to the nearest airport of Asaba and maybe spend some time and see if the weather around Abuja will be better, and then they can be called in. But then the question would be, if that was the case, how come that the pilots didn't inform the cabin crew in order to also use a PAS, that's the public address system in the airplane?
But Mr. Ake, sorry to interject. Very interesting point you've raised. But our correspondent checked the weather data for Abuja that day on a weather flight-related website of sorts, and it reported that the weather, the skies were okay for that flight.
Oh, well, if that's the case, then that totally cancels the idea that they probably were diverted to Asaba. But and again, if they were diverted, it was the business of the pilots to announce to the passengers what was going on. That they were now heading to Asaba for so and so reason, and since they didn't do that, it's a proof that nobody diverted them. So the likelihood is that a wrong folder was handed over
Okay.
to the pilots.
Okay.